Hello, thanks for clicking. If the resort's waterfront is functioning only as scenery, it is underperforming. Most waterfront properties are built around one defining asset, the water. But the water itself, the largest piece of real estate, often produces zero direct revenue. That's an asset inefficiency. Forward thinking waterfront operators are beginning to treat open water as programmable infrastructure designed zones that increase guest dwell time, attract new demographics, and create measurable revenue lift. One model that has proven effective in several markets is modular floating recreation systems, structured floating installations that transform passive waterfront into managed activity centers. The floating aqua park, or inflatable water park as it is aptly called, fits the bill not as rented out water toys, but as a truly managed attraction infrastructure. Increased dwell time. When structured activity is anchored on the water, guests don't just pass through, they stay. Increased dwell time translates directly into higher food, beverage, and ancillary spend across the property. Higher ADRs, average daily rate. Waterfront properties that add a visible, structured attraction gain pricing power. When the experience becomes a destination rather than just lodging, operators often see measurable lift in average daily rates. The differentiation aspect. In competitive lake and coastal markets, most properties offer similar shoreline amenities. Structured floating infrastructure creates immediate visual and experiential differentiation, something competitors cannot replicate overnight. Event hosting potentials. Modular water based attractions also create programmable event opportunities, corporate bookings, private buyouts, youth camps, and branded activations expanding revenue beyond standard guest occupancy. Family demographic attractions. Families make longer booking decisions and typically spend more per stay. A structured water attraction becomes a primary booking driver for that demographic, not just an added amenity. Seasonal leverages. In seasonal markets, the objective isn't just occupancy, it's compression. A strong water based attraction can concentrate demand earlier and later in the season, extending meaningful revenue windows. Beyond direct revenue impact, structured waterfront attractions create organic brand amplification. In today's hospitality environment, guest generated media is one of the most powerful marketing forces available. When an attraction is visually dominant and activity driven, guests document it. They photograph it. They film it. They post it. Every post becomes third party validation, not paid advertising, but authentic experience signals distributed across personal networks. For waterfront operators, this transforms the attraction into a recurring marketing engine. The visual scale of floating infrastructure travels well on social platforms. It differentiates the property in search results, in tagged content, and in guest discovery cycles. In effect, the water itself becomes part of the property's media strategy. The waterfront is not just scenery, it's scalable infrastructure if designed correctly. It's important to understand that not all floating systems are equal. Revenue impact is not simply a function of size, it's a function of design. Throughput matters, visibility matters, flow patterns matter. A well designed layout controls how guests move through the structure. It reduces bottlenecks. It balances high energy elements with recovery zones. It creates visual dominance from the shoreline while maintaining operational clarity. Poorly designed installations often appear chaotic. They look busy, but they lack structure. Over time, that affects both guest satisfaction and staff supervision. Strategic waterfront infrastructure must be engineered for durability, scalability, and operational efficiency, not just visual excitement. Design is not aesthetic, design is performance, and performance is measured operationally. How many guests can the system accommodate per hour without congestion? Therefore, in other words, how easily can staff supervise the full structure from shoreline vantage points? Or how efficiently can access points be controlled during peak periods? Well designed infrastructure reduces friction for guests and for operators. That operational clarity translates directly into better reviews, smoother staffing, and repeat visitation. Modular capital deployments. One of the advantages of floating infrastructure is modular capital deployment. Unlike permanent shoreline construction, which requires large, irreversible capital outlays, modular floating systems can be deployed in phases. An operator can begin with a core configuration, measure demand, evaluate utilization rates, and expand incrementally based on real performance data. This approach preserves capital flexibility. It reduces fixed risk exposure. In volatile economic cycles, capital flexibility matters. Permanent shoreline construction locks operators into long depreciation schedules and high sunk costs. Modular systems preserve optionality. If demand shifts, configurations can evolve. If expansion is justified, modules can be added without reconstructing the entire waterfront footprint. That adaptability aligns with disciplined capital management, and it allows the waterfront experience to evolve with the property's growth strategy. In that sense, the system is not just an attraction, it is scalable infrastructure. Ultimately, the shoreline is finite, the water is not. For operators thinking long term, the question is no longer whether to activate the waterfront, but how to do it in a way that is structured, scalable, and aligned with disciplined capital strategy. Because when designed correctly, the water itself becomes an asset, not just a backdrop. For waterfront operators evaluating structured floating infrastructure, private briefings are available through direct inquiry.